dismissed every accomplishment I've made. You've talked about my father. Well, you call me an entitled millennial, I call you a carny succubus, because the dirty secret about you, the dirty secret is you need this generation more than it needs you.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for our Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. And we're talking about Collision, and I just realized right now I'm looking at the wrong one. I got ahead of myself, turned the page on my notes. We're talking about Collision, January 11th, 2025. Tony and Nigel on commentary. We started off with I'm so happy that the promos are back before the show starts, because we got Harley who's going to face Mariah. Harley goes, then Mariah says her stuff. Then we got the learning tree. We got rated FTR. The promos before, it makes me feel good. It makes me just happy, man. It just has that old school feeling like, look here, I'm going to bust your head open tonight. Tonight's the night to fight. It just gets you hyped and ready for the show. And then with Elton John's great song, tonight's all right for a fight. Saturday night's all right for a fight. It's just a big fight feel. I don't know. I just love it. It has some nostalgia that I really like. But we have Cope versus Big Bill with Jericho on commentary. I got to say, this match was my match of the night. I was like, I don't know what to expect, but man, these two went at it, man. But Cope got the win over Big Bill, and then of course Jericho and his shenanigans and Brian, they start beating down Cope, and here comes FTR to back him up. But yeah, I'm telling you, I did not know what to expect from Cope versus Big Bill, but I really enjoyed this match. Then we get a Kenny package, and we get a Hangman Adam Page promo. He challenged Christopher Daniels at Collision next week. Texas Death Match in Cincinnati, Ohio. He says, you put your hands on me, Christopher Daniels, and I'm basically gonna murder you next week on Collision. Then we get that bastard Pac versus Commander. It was okay. He took out Commander. He got the win. Of course, here comes the Mox cult, and then they start beating down Commander. Then the Outrunners save Commander. I don't know where the connection is with them and Commander, but I said, okay, sure. And then, to be fair, they were in the next match against the Death Riders with Yuta and Claudio, so maybe that makes sense. But they're the good guys. They had to save Commander from the Death Riders, the Mox cult that I rather call them. But Death Riders versus the Outrunners, it was okay. Death Riders got the win. We got a Hobbs package, and I posted it on all my socials, everything. I still love what he's like, I'm going to make Moxley my bitch. In Renee's face. Oh, I watched that just to get a little chuckle out of myself. And we have Mariah versus Harley. It was okay. Mariah got the win, of course. It's Mariah May. It's just like, who's going to challenge Mariah May? Who is the next big star in the women's division to take on Mariah and take that title away? So, but Harley's always great. I love Harley. Christopher Daniels promo, he says, you know what? He's going to take Hangman Adam Page on in that Texas Death Match. And that was it. Then we get Brody King with Julia versus Squash King. Who do you think won? Okay, just take a minute. Just take a guess. Was it Squash King? silly goose. It's Brody King. Then we go backstage after commercial. Lexi's with Brody and Julia. Then Cope's like, hey, yeah, you're so great. You got to figure out your stuff with the House of Black, but maybe Brody King should really just be Brody King and just take on the world. Basically, Cope was giving some flowers and also giving some advice. And Brody King is awesome, man. He's a beast in that ring. And I love Julia. And there's a lot of speculation. Malachi Black leaving, going back to WWE. Contracts coming up soon. Does that mean they're all going? But it's just a matter of contracts. But it was pretty cool to see Cope give Brody some love. Then we get a TNT championship. Of course, Daniel Garcia takes on Katsuyori Shibata. And Daddy Magic is on commentary. No surprise. But, man, this was a fun match. I had a lot of fun with this. My boy Daniel Garcia got the win. And some respect from Shibata. Gotta love that. And then we go into our main event, which I was really not like, okay, whatever. Jericho versus Dax. And I was like, do I really want to watch this with Jericho? But I will say, besides the botched ending, I'm saying that just out of disrespect for Jericho, because I know he doesn't like that word, botch. But he botched his own finish. I don't know what he did to the ref. But up to the point of the finish itself, Jericho and Dax was a really decent match, and I had my attention. But there was this, he was supposed to like hit the ref by accident. He blatantly hits the ref, so I don't know how he got disqualified. But because he had his championship, and then Dax went on the top rope. As soon as he was jumping, Jericho was supposed to grab the Ring of Honor championship and put it on him, so Dax hit it, so that can be the finish. But he didn't grab it in time, and Dax got him. And it's funny, it's like, the ref is like, I sold, I don't know what I just sold, but okay, I'm selling. And it was just chaotic, and they finally got to the spot where Jericho just used the title, hit Dax, and that's how he got the 1, 2, 3. But man, really decent match until that finish. I'm telling you, it just takes a crappy finish just to ruin a whole match. But I actually was surprised that I did enjoy it until that point. But it was comical and it was hilarious. You should watch it just because. Oh, man. Like I said, I don't know what the ref was expecting. And then the commentary's like, he poked him in the eye. He poked him in the eye, But, of course, we have to end Collision in crazy, chaotic fashion, and it's a beatdown. And here comes Cope, and here comes Cash. Here comes the Death Riders. Here comes the Outrunners. Chaos. But Moxley finally got Cope, took him out, and was going to do the concerto. But then here comes Hobbs, and man, I got to say, lately that guy has been growing on me. He can be a huge star. He can be something big in AEW. He's got the look. He can speak on the mic. Like, this guy has something, and I really wish Tony Khan can just really tap into it. He's over with the crowd, and I know he's not going to beat Jon Moxley next week because there's probably going to be some Death Riders Mox cult shenanigans. But my favorite part about this was Hobbs coming out, and he got hit by the chair from Moxley, and Moxley, he doesn't say, he goes, huh? Oh, what'd you do? You scratched me? What'd you do? You slapped me on the back? What'd you do, huh? And then Moxley's face was like, oh, crap. And he slaps the chair out of his hand. Moxley runs away. Hobbs jumps out. Here comes everybody else. But because he knocked out, he just basically cleared everybody to get to Moxley. But my favorite thing is the fact that he got Yuta. Poor Wheeler Yuta. Oh, man. He got his ass, picked him up, and put him right through the announcer table. And I'm like, ooh, he just killed Yuta, man. But man, that was a very, besides the botchness, I'm going to keep saying it because hopefully Jericho can hear it, the botch finish. It was a pretty fun ending. And seeing Hobbs just pow to Yuta, then please go watch the finish of this match. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. So, but overall, fun Collision match of the night. Cope versus Big Bill. And I think it's just that veteran, instinct of Cope calling it and making something out of nothing. But Big Bill is talented as well, so I have to give him that. I don't know what they're doing with my boy Brian Keith. He was holding a broom at the starting of the show, and I'm just like, what the... come on. That was the bounty hunter. Now he's the bad apple. Get him away from Jericho. Get Brian Keith away from Jericho. Please, Lord. Big Bill can stay with Jericho, but just get my boy, bring the bounty hunter back. Yeah, so overall, Cope versus Big Bill. I give this a second match to that is Dan Garcia and Shibata. I give this a solid 3 out of 5, and that is Collision, January 11th, 2025. Tony Nigel on commentary. That's it. That's all. March 9th's Revolution. We got Raw on Netflix on Monday, so life is good to be a pro wrestling fan here, folks. All right. Tell me what you thought of the show. Drop those comments below. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. And remember that the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
One step from behind. It's John Moxley.
Like a coiled cobra striking